Hey guys, my name is Dane, and today I wanted to talk about the changes made to the weapon attachment in the spring patch for Battlefield 4. The reason for this is that the changelog on Synthetic.com with all of the changes made to weapons and the attachments are rather, well, very difficult to decode and understand, and it can be hard to figure out just exactly what the changes are, how to choose the attachments, and just what would fit a certain weapon and in general your playstyle. I had a lot of mind twisting and straining my brain just to try and figure out just exactly what all of these numbers meant, so I decided to decode them and make a video to let you know just what changes DICE made to the attachments. So first off, the laser sight now reduces the bullet spread in hipfire mode by 33%, up from the previous 25%. So now it's more valuable and it's worth considering, even though a lot of people, me included, turn off the laser sights, because it gives away your position. The compensator and the muzzle brake no longer adds bullet spread as they did before. This makes both of them a more valuable choice than before, as now they completely improve the recoil of the weapon, adding control and, well, there's the accuracy at range compared to before where they had more spread, so a lot of people ran with the flash hider instead because it had no drawbacks. Speaking of which, the flash hider now has the added penalty of reducing the time it takes the bullet spread to reset to default by 17%. So every time you fire, depending on the weapon, it takes a certain amount of time for the bullet spread to reduce to 0, which is the most accurate state of the weapon. But with the flash hider, it now takes 17% longer than it would without. This means that there is a small drawback to hiding the muzzle flash, compared to before the patch where it simply just removed the muzzle flash with no further drawbacks. Moving on to the grips. Now all of the grips increases the time it takes the bullet spread to reset to default by 34%. This is the same penalty as the flash hider, but twice as high because, well, they have their added control in the different stats, where the flash hider's only upside is that it hides a visible aspect of the game and not the stats of the weapons. Apart from this penalty added to all of the grips, there has been a buff for two types of grips. The first one is the angle grip or the folding grip. Now they reduce the first shot multiplier by 20%, down from the previous 33%. This nerf with the added penalty to all of the grips now changed the way that the attachments are best used. Previously, if you used the angle grip with a weapon, you could just spam tap fire or burst fire at range to gain the most accuracy possible within your ability to control the weapon. But now you have to wait a bit between each tap or burst fire to get the most out of the angle grip without being too inaccurate because of the increased time it takes the spread to reduce to default. The second grip to gain some love is the potato or the stubby grip. Now it increases the spread 20% less when shooting, up from the previous 15%. And the maximum amount of aiming down sight spread is now 17%, down from the previous 33% less ADS maximum spread. This counters the newly added spread decrease for all of the grips by allowing your spread to increase less, but it still takes 34% longer for it to reset to default. I think that's why they buffed spread increased reduced to 20% instead of the previous 15%, so it didn't get worse because of the penalty that they added. With these changes though, I want you to remember to take the weak points of the attachments into consideration when choosing the attachment for your weapon. Because some weapons might be better off without an attachment in that slot, or it might gain more by choosing another one to increase the diversity of the weapon. My best recommendation for you all is to remove the grips from your weapons and remaster them and then play around with the different grips. Just so you can get a better feel of the weapon, to notice whether you really need the angle grip instead of the stubby grip, or if you would gain more by choosing the vertical grip over the stubby grip. This is exactly what I'm gonna do for all of my preferred and favorite weapons. Because some might really not need to have an angle grip when the first shot multiplier is at 1.8 and you could use better moving accuracy because you move around a lot. Or you stand still a lot but you'd rather have more control over your weapon than reduced bullet spread. These are all the things that I'm going to figure out for my favorite weapons, and you should too. Before I finish off, I'd just like to point out that any of the changes not mentioned to the attachment is because, well, they've stayed the same. So the compensator still reduces the horizontal recoil by 25%, and there's still an added max spread of 30%. So stuff like that, which I haven't mentioned, is simply because they've stayed the same, and Synthic haven't really updated their easy comparison tools for attachments and all of the weapons yet. So I just thought that I'd update you on the changes so you can get going with these remastering of all of the attachments and the weapons ASAP. I'm gonna leave the link for the spring patch weapon changelog in the description below so you can read through all of the weapon and attachment changes made in the spring patch. And that's it for this time, guys. I hope you enjoyed and you found this info useful. Don't forget to like and share with your friends and subscribe for more on future content on my channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.